I wanted to use this as an opportunity to talk to you because, again, this is our last class period. Oh. This is our last time where we are in a normal 45, 50-minute class. And I wanted to make sure I told you guys a few things before we kind of get into the busyness of finals. Because I understand finals, especially end of the year for seniors, can be a little stressful and crazy. You got everything going on. You're thinking about finishing up. You're thinking about graduation. You're thinking about summer. You're thinking about whatever, graduation parties. You're thinking of all those things. All those things come up. But I wanted to try to leave you with one last kind of talk, so to speak, because next week isn't going to be about that. It's going to be more informal. Obviously, I won't see you for a long period of time until Thursday, correct? Thursday. So it's going to be a little different, but that's all right. But I wanted to impress upon you a few things. And so I think it's important when we think about time. You've heard me talk about time a lot. You've heard me reference how time is always going. That clock up there, it keeps on ticking. The hands on the clock keep turning. And we can't stop it unless we pull it off the hook. But even then, there's another clock that's still ticking. Time goes like that. And I don't want you to waste your life and waste your time. So imagine, if you will, that you were given $86,400 every single day. Just imagine that. Imagine that. But here's the catch. Every day at midnight, you lose everything that's left, regardless of what you spent or didn't spend. What would you do with that money? Think about it. What would you do with that money? How would you spend the money differently if I told you then that you would lose all the remainder of your money at the end of the day? If you were going to eventually lose it, how would you spend your money differently? Well, think about it. But that situation plays out.
Like a good lose money or bad lose money?
No, you don't get any of it back. If you don't spend all $86,400, you lose it, the rest of it. Mm-hmm. But that situation actually plays out every single day. Every day, you each get 86,400 seconds. That's how much you get. And we have a lot of things that go on in our lives. We have school, we have jobs, we have family commitments, we have games, practices, concerts, and probably most important, friends to Snapchat. Okay? Wasting time is such an easy thing to do. I mean, it really is. It's such an easy thing to do. We have more things, like I've told you, at this point in our society than ever before. Never before have we had this much technology, this much knowledge, this much of everything. It's at its height right now. And so social media, you think about it, social media like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, it's less than 15 years old. It's not that old, and people think it's been around forever. It really isn't that old. And soon a new wave is going to hit us. We're going to have the wave of virtual reality in everything we do. Different audio response systems. Technology is still going to be updating and creating and moving on. So whether you think it's a good thing or not, that's not for this conversation. It's for another debate. But think about it. How many people waste their time on pointless things? We get caught up into what's trending in our world and not necessarily what is going to trend each of you individually in the right direction. We bring up social media, and I bring up social media not to knock it down. I'm not here to bash on it, because I think it's cool. And you have the opportunity with social media to capture memories and moments that are going to be amazing for the rest of your life. You're going to hold those moments, those pictures that you've been tagged in, those statuses that uphold something really, really awesome, and you're going to be able to look back on that. But let me take you back actually to a young me, at a time where world was more fast and instant. That referred more to the fast and supersized fries you would get at the the fast food place rather than your social media and your technology.
All right, now I want to go to Dairy Queen.
I don't like Dairy Queen, but so when I was finishing high school and entering college, it was MySpace was all but dead, but Facebook was still, it was beginning. It was in its grassroots stage, and smartphones weren't a big thing. They weren't the most popular thing. And so that meant that you actually had to create a status on your laptop or desktop computer and then eventually log out. That means the only way you could check your notifications or see how many likes you got on your post would be to eventually, maybe hours, day later, log back in. Like, you didn't get that instant buzz like we have, or that notification that pops up on our phone. You had to wait till your next login to actually see that, or see how popular your status was. But then with the introduction of BlackBerries and smartphones, and that growing to be such a big thing, we have our notification come to us on the spot. Got a status like? Notification. Get tagged in a picture? Notification. Get an email from a coworker? Notification. Get an alert that your phone is out of memory? Notification. Okay? These notifications lead us not to just check it out, or just, oh, I got a notification. But we eventually then spend, the next 45 minutes scrolling through our phone, playing around, playing a game, looking at random things and facts. We need to live life through the notification. We need to love life, and then leave the notifications for those who just want to watch it. Live life. Don't be a watcher. Don't just be scrolling through and that's how you do your life. But guess what? There's still 24 hours, 1,140 minutes, 86,400 seconds still left in your day. And I don't really see that changing anytime soon, so we better get used to that time frame. One of the many things that I think people waste their time on is wasting it on letting their insecurities, their worries, their excuses cover up that wasted time. And I say we because I'm a part of that. I am one who's made plenty of excuses in my time. And I don't want you ever to look up at me and think, hey, Mr. H has got it figured out. He understands this or understands that. Like, no, I still have insecurities. I still have worries. I still have fears. I still have I've made plenty of excuses that I look back now on and think, what was I thinking? That's real. One of the biggest worries we face is the worry of won't. I won't be able to do this. I don't think I'll be able to ever do that. Won't is very limiting when you think about it. It essentially is taking away all your options, or a majority of your options. We should hate limited options. Think about it. You want as many options as you can in life. We should hate the times when we have limited options. There's a book called The Distance Between Us, and it's about a 17-year-old girl who's trying to figure out her life, just maybe like you are. She's trying to figure out the next chapter, the next road to take. And she has a great quote that says, you have as many options as you give yourself. So when we're out there complaining about, man, I just don't have all the options I need, I don't have all of this or all that, a lot of the times we're wasting our own time and limiting our options. And a lot of that comes from the fear of, I won't, I can't. So we need to stop limiting our options. You need to stop limiting your options. It's a time waster. Okay? We live with a worry that we're going to also disappoint people by the things that we do, that we will be looked at as different, or nah, I'm not good enough. In full transparency, same struggle for myself daily, not just weekly, daily. We get caught up in so much about thinking the perception of others that they'll have on us, that we are putting in extra work or we're doing something that's a little different, that we either let that fear and worry completely stop us from doing something or delaying it. In either the case, though, it is not good at all. We're wasting our time. Again, 86,400 seconds in your day. You don't have that time to waste. You don't get it back. Remember, you're not alone with the worries, the insecurities, the excuses. I just admitted to you, I have those same things, so you're not alone. And don't ever think you are alone. That's the biggest misconception, is people think they are alone. Usually reality is not really what's going on. Our perception in our heads isn't what's going to happen. People aren't going to be that confused by us or going to give us as weird looks as we think we are going to get. It's just all up in our heads. And so the only disappointment you can ever really live in life and have in life is living a life that's wasted. That's a disappointment. That's disappointing you and others for sure if you live a life that's wasted. I don't know if you know this, you might not, but the average life expectancy of an American is 78.6 years. Now that's actually down for the second year in a row. So that means if you're 18 years old, you lived roughly 23% of your life so far.
What if you were 19?
A little bit more.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you.
Think of that. Almost a quarter of your life is done. And so without looking at exactly what we do with our time, whether it be sleeping, eating, working out, doing stuff, watching TV, playing games, exercising, doing laundry. Doing laundry actually, research has shown, takes up 3 years of our lives. So, that's a significant chunk. Maybe for some people, it's 0. I don't do laundry, so then it would be 0. But But I don't want you to stop from moving forward. I don't want you to stop from having those amazing days filled up with great things simply because you didn't go use the time. Because time is fleeting. It really is. The U.S. Census Bureau says that the average age of retirement is 63. Okay? And the reason I say that is whatever direction life takes you, it's going to require you to work in some way, shape, or form. You're going to have a job and hold a job. It might be till 63, it might be to 53, it might be to 73. But you're going to have to work. And so one thing I've heard a lot about is people having that Friday mentality. That mentality saying, hey, I just want to live for the weekend. And think about that. Thousands upon thousands of people who go to work or go to school, taking classes, live for the Friday feeling, living for the weekend, as some people might call it. They live to accept it as long as they can get to Friday. Life will be great then. Whatever happens in the middle of the week, it happens, but as long as I can get to Friday, we got to today, we're good, we're golden. We have a nice 4-day weekend with Memorial Day coming up. That's the way thousands upon thousands of people live. If I get to Friday, now I just have 2.5 days off, that's going to be great. And then we have Monday, the dreaded Monday.
Which is why there's so many memes about
Yeah, oh yeah. But we say this, we talk about, have you ever heard someone in the hallway or someone on a Monday, hey, it's just a Monday. It's just a Monday. Well, why do we say that? Like, why?
Monday is like
But-
a drag down day to start your week.
But we say it as it's like we're trying to come up with an excuse for the lack of our performance or the something's going to happen today, so I'm just going to blame it on the Monday or the random situation. I think that I got to the point too where it was, I'm just going to blame it on the Monday. I don't even know why I said it. It was habit. If something goes wrong, it's a Monday. Somebody says, hey, how you doing today? It's a Monday. Like, it's just habit. And like, I didn't even think about it. I just would say it. It was almost like verbal vomit. But think about that. If you waste your time in your life spending 4 days of your week thinking about the other 3. Think about that. A lot of times we spend 4 days of our week thinking about 3. Monday through Thursday is a big deal of the week. It's a big chunk. And so if we have that feeling about Monday through Thursday, what does that say about our life? If we have that feeling about Monday through Thursday, what does that say about our life? Does that mean you don't like your job? Does it mean you don't like the classes you're taking at school? Imagine if we were passionate about Monday just like we were Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Imagine all the things that could happen. Imagine if Wednesday came and we're like, I can't wait for Wednesday. I can't get here soon enough. We have that Friday mentality that is a gigantic waste of time. We spend 4 days thinking about 3. Go find something for work that you're passionate about, that you love, that you want to wake up every morning and be like, this is what I get to do and I love it. This is what I get to be involved with and I love it. And then you're going to gain so much energy from that, it's going to astound you. Not saying you're not going to have some valleys, not saying you're not going to have some low times, you will. But when you're in something you love, it's going to give you a perspective of, a newfound perspective of, I don't have to worry about Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I love what I'm doing on Tuesday. And when we can get to that point, Imagine what we can do. Steve Jobs had a famous quote, and he was talking about in one speech he had, hey, you got to find what you love to do, and if you haven't found it yet, keep looking for it. And so that's an encouraging thing for you. If you haven't found what you love yet, keep looking for it. Don't ever stop. Don't ever stop. The Rock had a saying, go wake up determined, go to bed satisfied. That's his mantra. That could maybe be ours. So think about what we could do if we had a passion for each day we woke up and each day we lived. So now we look at our lives and think, how do we do everything we have to do? Life seems like a whirlwind. Life seems crazy. I don't know how we can get everything done. I don't know how we can get everything accomplished that we need to get accomplished. We say we're so busy. We say our schedule is so crammed and packed. Like there's no room. There's no wiggle room. I just have no time. We hear from everyone how we need to work and get better and put time into things and make ourselves better, whether it be studying for a school or making our skills better for a future job. But how in the world can we? Like, how can we? So maybe we need to take a new perspective on our time. Here, this is your life, right here. It's what it is, okay? It is what it is. We want to try to make sure we figure everything out. We want to put everything in here. We want to get all our stuff done. And so we have our life jar. Notice it is one size. I can't take this jar and make it any wider. I can't pull it apart and make it any bigger and taller. I can't do that. It is what it is. This is your life. 86,400 seconds, all right in here. And so we have our essential things in life. This is, your work, your job, your family, your friends, your passions, your dreams. Things that you want to just essentially dive a lot of your time into. These are the essentials of life. So you got these represented by these rocks. And then you have, by these rocks here, the essentials, the necessary things of life. These are necessary. So this would be your studying. You got to study. You need sleep. You got to sleep. All this necessary things you have to do with your life by these rocks here. And then we have the small stuff, represented by the sand. The small stuff that take up parts of our day, parts of our time, but they aren't as big a priority as these things right here, or at least they should be. Problem is, though, usually we make the small stuff our go-to. We go to this stuff more than the essentials. And so, again, if this is our life and we put the small stuff in first, we prioritize by taking care of the small stuff in life. Whatever those might be for you, they're going to be a little different. But the small stuff goes in first. You see already a significant portion of our life is taken up. A significant portion of that. Next, then we add the necessary, the things we have to get done. We add that into our life. Oh my goodness, where did all the space go? We're filling ourselves up. Our life is consumed. That we say, I have no time. I have no space and opportunity to pursue my dreams and do this or that. I just can't. So then we try to add work, family, other things, friends, our passions, dreams, and I think you can tell it's not going to fit. There's no way to, we could balance, but it's not going to fit in the jar. It's going to be overflowing. And we only have so much time. You don't get an additional 1,000 seconds to your day if you just need it, just in case. You know what? I'm going to need that extra 1,000. Hey, can we make it 87,400 seconds today? You don't get that. So maybe we need to reprioritize some things. Maybe take a different perspective on our life and say, all right, I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to end up 3 or 4 or 5 years down the road saying, man, what was I doing for that period of time in my life where I could have been pursuing something, but I just didn't because I want to come up with an excuse, or I just wanted to say I didn't have time. So maybe we try a different perspective. Instead, we go with the essential things in life, with those essential things that we got to focus on, that deserve our time and effort, that deserve our quality thoughts and our care. So we add those things in there. We put that first. Again, same jar. I can't make it bigger. I can't make it taller. I can't make it wider. It's not anything I got in a magic factory. Next, we add those necessary things in life. Again, These are absolutely necessary, and they might be a little different for every one of us. But there's the necessary things like sleep, like eating, like caring for maybe our house or our pets or whatever those things are. Again, still pretty full. Still pretty full there, you see. I mean, it's filling up. And then we say, okay, I got my essentials done. I've put time and invested time in that. I've invested time in the necessary things in my life. Now I can add some small stuff to it. I can make sure that if there's any of those little things I want to get done, I'll do it. So we add those things in there. We might not be able to add it all in there, so we shake it around and keep adding to make sure that at the end of the day, everything is done. And yet, now, our life is full. We did have time. We did have time to fit everything in there, but we just need to change our perspective of how we invest our time into things. We can't waste our time on the small stuff first, because that'll leave us empty and dry and without room and enough time to invest in the essential things in life. This jar of life here, it can't get any bigger. I can't make it taller. I can't make it wider. I can't make it fit any more. This is as big as this jar is ever going to get. And you only have 24 hours, 1,140 minutes left, 86,400 seconds in your day. This is all you got right here. Imagine what you could do if you just changed the perspective on it a little bit. If you gave yourself an opportunity to be more and invest more into you, into those things. I go to the grocery store. I'm one of those people who, when I go to the grocery store and I get all the things I need, I carry it in one big giant handful. I'm not making 2 trips. I'm taking everything out of the trunk. I'm walking in there with every bag somehow clutched in my hand or on my shoulder or on my arm, hanging on my elbow. I find a way to do that. I don't want to take 2 trips. That's who I am. But sometimes I go to the grocery store and I make some impulsive decisions. And I buy things and buy food items that I probably should not buy. Could be cookies. Could be a number of things. So I buy things I shouldn't buy. And then I get home, I open the trunk, and I'm like, all right, I'm trying to carry everything in one big trip. I'm not taking 2. And it's hard to carry it all. I'm weighed down. I can't move as efficiently. I'm looking awkward walking around. I might have a bag or 2 break. I might have a food item in one of those bags break and crack open or dent. That's life when we sometimes overwhelm ourselves and try to take on too much.
That's why sisters are handy.
That's why we take on too much of our life. But focus on the things we need, the essential things we need first, and then add some of the extra stuff as we go along. If I had 3 things to tell you about not wasting your life, I would say this. 1, craft your purpose. Craft your purpose. Find what you need to go after every day. Find the passion, that you have, because we only have a fixed amount of time. That's it. Again, you've heard that from me today and over the course of the year. So craft your purpose. Find the things you love and are passionate about and invest your time into those things. Every day. Every day. Second, eliminate the unnecessary things. Eliminate the unnecessary. And what I mean by that is I'm not talking about a smoker who's going to quit smoking. Obviously, a smoker who wants to quit smoking is a good thing. That's probably necessary for their health and their well-being. But I'm talking about the things in your life that you're doing, that you spend your time on, that have no real benefit to where you want to go. If the essential things in life are set up for you, you have your things you really need to invest time in, and yet all the small stuff is going here, the complete opposite direction, that's unnecessary. Not saying it's bad, not saying it's just terrible to be a part of, but it's not necessary for you. It's wasted time for you. So don't waste your time on that. Eliminate the unnecessary, just like I had to eliminate the unnecessary when I went to the store. And then third, have fun. Have fun with your life. You get 86,400 seconds a day. That's it. So why aren't you making the most of it? Actually, why aren't you making the most of it? we say time flies by when you're having fun. How true is that? Time does fly by when you're having fun. You enjoy life, you enjoy what you're doing, you love what you're a part of, you love your job, you love your coworkers, you love your family and friends. When you're having fun, life is more enjoyable. Not saying you're not going to have some dips and hard times, because you will. You most undoubtedly will. But when you are passionate about the things that you do, it makes it a little easier to get out of bed every morning and continue to work. So craft your purpose, eliminate the unnecessary things in your life, and have fun. Those are 3 things I would strongly encourage you to do, because you have 24 hours, 1,140 minutes, 86,400 seconds in your day. Don't waste them. I don't want you to live a life that's wasted, and I don't want you to live a life that has time every day thrown down the drain. So don't waste your time. Don't waste your life.